doing? How are you? Look like all the good things that ever happened in America. Well, you look like all the good things. A lot of good shit ain't happened in America lately, but you look like all the good things.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I be in the spirit, honey. I be feeling the holidays, and this is one of my favorite. You know, a girl like me loves to play dress up, honey.
Do you like to role play in the bedroom? Because, I used to be a stripper, so I always had the, yes, baby. So we was a good strippers back pre 9/11 money when the money was good, not this recession shit.
Ooh,
The boys back then knew they had to P2P. Okay.
okay.
I love a little role play. I do. I like to get a little I like to wear the heels and, be bent over just so. I'm tall. So in order to bend me over in a stiletto, honey, you got to be at least 6'3" plus. And if I bend down real far, you got to pay my rent.
Oh, Lord. How tall are you, friend?
I'm 5'11" and a half, barefoot. In my heels, I'm 6'3".
Word.
Yes.
Let's get the live started. Tell the people your name.
My name is Victoria Vegas, aka Canna Butter Babe. I am a pansexual Black woman with that good from Boston, Massachusetts. I used to be a dancer. They made me the first Black woman that's the general manager of a strip club. And now I'm a cannabis formulator and I'm self-funded. I just got fired too. So I took a regular job because of the recession and I don't have a sugar daddy right now. So I was like, let me take a regular job. I feel like the broke boys that we sleep with on the low because they got the good D, we can't tell nobody. That's the secret. You can't be walking around with them. That's not, I don't like that. I think that you should keep the one broke boy that you love, but don't tell nobody if that's what you want. And then keep a roster. Do the stovetop method. 2 on the front burner, 2 on the back burner, and then your little friend in the middle. You know what I mean?
What do you do for a living, friend? You said you're an entrepreneur. You're running your cannabis.
Yep. So I run Canna Butter Babe, and literally I exist.
Why do you think you're single? Because you said that you don't have a benefactor.
Well, because right now I don't. One second, I have cake in the oven, so I'm gonna take you with me. I've been through that already, and I really enjoy being single. I'm gonna start traveling a lot next year, and I haven't. And you want to know why? For real though, I haven't gone to Afrochella yet, and I plan on doing that next year. So until I go get me a piece of original cane, because these leftover ones over here, these can't be the ones that Jesus wanted for us. Can't be. So until I go to Afrochella and go to Ghana and twirl my world over to the continent to see all I could see and be all I could be, baby, it's just gonna have to be me, myself, and I. I love everybody. Like, why I have to pick one?
You don't do the American Black Kings?
I did. I took a lover over the summer, and it was a disaster. He thought I was his secretary, and then he didn't even introduce me to the girl that was doing his laundry so that she could come and do mine too.
Was he having sex with the girl who was doing the laundry?
Baby, he was so fine. He was probably having sex with everybody. He was having sex with Mary Magdalene probably, and he was good at it too. He was so good. I wouldn't even keep him all to myself. Like, I swear to God, he was that beautiful. You can't keep something like that to yourself. You got to share responsibly.
So would you consider yourself non-monogamous, friend?
Yeah, it's easier that way. Yeah. Monogamy it hurts your feelings. It's like, and is it really? Like, is it possible? I mean, I could love somebody, but I would never be so remiss in life to think that anyone who loved me, I would be the only person they want to touch. And that's just not realistic, especially nowadays. I mean, I could see if it was like in our parents' day and age when they didn't have the internet, but when you could see all this good puss online and touch it, if you DM them, I'm not going to be a stupid girl. And I'm not the most, I'm attractive. I like myself, but I'm not going to pretend as if, someone else isn't going to love me. Hi, Colin. Oh, my friend, my cuddle buddies. And he cuddles the best. I love Colin.
Oh, shucks. So I'm confused. I don't know if you got a roster or not, friend. Do you have a roster?
I don't have, you know what? It's very hard to talk. I mean, I keep men around right now. I'm keeping them around. And Venus retrograde. So a couple of my friends have been on my butt about trying to see me, but I just feel like at this, pussy is a commodity. It's
It,
just a lot to think about. You know what I mean? Like, then what? Then I have to get up and cook, and I'm kind of in my lazy phase, and I'm just like, I'm kind of over it. I don't know. If I have sex with someone, it's definitely not going to be someone I've already had sex with. And it's not going to be in Boston. Like, I'm going to be in Costa Rica getting bent over a waterfall with a life jacket on because I can't swim well.
but what are your preferences in women?
I love when, let me tell you something. I have been with 4 women, and I found out, well, one of them told me I was a horrible lesbian. And I'm like, what does that mean? Just because you know what I mean? I'm just like, oh my God, really? Like, why? Like, oh my God, so much. Oh my God, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to move to Georgia. You see, like, you didn't kick me out. No, like, I don't want, no.
So
Like,
how long did y'all date before
we
she?
still kind of date. I love her. Like, even when she touches other people, I get mad, but I'm not going to stop her from touching them. She's my favorite. When I get old, you know what I mean? I'll hump her for the rest of my life. I'm just not there yet. I don't know. I've never been with a trans woman, and I really want to. I want to so bad.
I,
But,
I hear it's magical.
I've heard that it is magical too, but I want to be with all kinds of people. I want to be with a non-binary, gender non-conforming. I want to rub my clit on everybody's kneecap, to be quite honest with you.
Describe your ideal partner for me. What type of person normally catches your eye?
Wealthy. I like boys with boats. Um, it depends. I have a look for every man that every demographic. I do. If I do like, so now that I'm old, like all right, so I love lesbians with dreads. I'm a whore for that. Or a really short haircut. And I like them to be dominant. I like my black men to be chocolate and ripped up. I want there to be so, oh my God, that I forget that they have no money. Um, I like my white men wealthy, and it just works very well for me, or that come with a resource. Um, or at least, that they don't say no because I'm going to ask for things and I'm spoiled. So you can't be like, oh no, you can't have that. Like, yes, I can buy you weave, shoes, pay your rent, all that. But that's what I'm used to here in Boston. I like men with resources that are willing to share. I like really smart men. I like engineers and people like, I like men that can do stuff like grow things and have connections to stuff. Because if I'm going to stay looking like this,
Oh, look at friend body.
I'm going to need you to come with like, we can have a great time. You know what I mean? But we live in a patriarchal society. So I am not easy on the cishet patriarchy. I'm not. Because as soon as they meet women, the first thing they say is, oh, with that mouth. You know what I mean? I mean, white men don't come out and say it like that, but they have their ways too, like, oh, let me touch, they're men are men. That's who they are, right? Just last week, I asked a man for a car and a house, literally. I think that if you don't ASK, you don't GET.
So how was his response when you asked them?
So the guy has an extra house, and I was like, oh, can I just like have it for a year? Like, you're not doing anything with it like that. Just ask for the things that they have it, and they're flaunting their little things around you, and they're always saying, oh, I have this, I have that. Okay, can I have some? And most of the time you'll get it. Like, I literally,
How did you get into stripping, friend?
I was not, so my parents died when I was young. Not that that had anything to do with it. I wanted to do it. um I wanted to buy a car. I was in school at Clark Atlanta University, and I hated it. I hated it. I hated being at an HBCU. I wasn't ready to go away, right? I just wasn't ready after the first year. I came back home. My best girlfriend, who was still to this day, she's drop dead gorgeous, right? And she was dancing for this company called Shamrock Entertainment, doing bachelor parties. And I wanted to buy a car because she had a car and she had her own apartment, and just being young and being a follower. So she was like, okay, but she was very, very fair skinned, and I'm not. So I didn't get as many parties as she did, but when they saw that guys liked me, so this was back in like 97, 98. So we had bouncers, we had chauffeurs. There was nothing going on, literally nothing going on. You had to have an agent to even get in strip clubs back then. So, yeah. So back then, there was only one agent in Massachusetts, and his name was Roy D. And he was like 150 years old. So he's still alive, though. He's still alive to this day. It's so funny. So he was in charge of getting all the girls in the clubs. So me and my best friend trot down to his office, and we're like, we want to work. We're young. He's looking at us. He's like, okay, go to this club. We didn't like that club. So we finagled our way into Centerfolds. She's so fair-skinned. She kind of looks like Vanessa Williams, right? So anytime, and this is when I learned, colorism is everywhere, right? But I was a better dancer than her, and my body was just a little bit more slender than hers. And I was dancing to rock and stuff, and she could only dance to techno. And I could verbalize myself better than she could with white men. So they took me. I was the first Black girl that Centerfolds on Route 20 hired back in 98. And then I traveled around for them. I went to different clubs in Vegas. Finally, I worked for Hurricane Betty's. I stopped. I went in there one night with my friend's birthday, and I made some guy buy like $2,000 worth of Cristal, and I wasn't even dancing anymore. And the manager, the owner of that time, who I've known forever, was like, you want a job? And I was like, I guess. And he's like, I'm going to train you to be me. He taught me everything he knew, gave me the keys to the club, and I was the GM. And I left him because he was into some Mickey Flicky shit at the time too. But he didn't want to pay it's all business. He didn't want to pay my health insurance. My first dance was at 19. GM was at 36, a long time. I wouldn't recommend, listen, I would never tell girls to go out and strip now. Hip hop has ruined strip clubs. It
How
just
so?
has. Because, well, it has for Boston, maybe not down south. We never had Black clubs before.
Okay.
So, and because they would never hire Black girls. So, they wouldn't. So now that, white men with money here won't go in them. Because it's too much trap and, make it rain. And they don't mind the twerking and stuff. They just want you to twerk to Motley Crue.
They're probably scared to get robbed.
No, they're not scared to get robbed because we rob them all the time. They weren't scared to get robbed, honey. They give you their Amex card and make it do what it do. They're not afraid of that. They just want to hear Motley Crue.
What advice would you give to a young lady who honestly wants to monetize her vagina? What advice would you give her?
I would say date smarter, not harder. And I have a group on Facebook that I'm about to reopen up that I had for years, teaching women how to date smarter, not harder. If you are in the family way and you want to have children, you need to have children, unfortunately, with a man that makes at least 350. And that's the truth. I would tell her if she wanted to have a kid and didn't want to wait to find that man, then she should probably have a kid with her bestie or her gay bestie. I would say, honestly, use condoms even if it feels good. Use a condom. These men are not to be trusted. Peg more than you use your vagina. Peg more than you use your vagina. Don't let everyone put their mouth down there. It still throws your pH off. Make sure that you do not, you have to, and we all like a little hood boy every now and then. Don't tell nobody. And make sure, do not bring him to your house. Stay child free as long as you possibly can because the economy is a mess. And fall in love last. And don't fall in love with looks. Don't fall in love with personality. And date the engineers. Do not date for looks. The guys who look good and have the big, they're for everybody. As they should be. I mean, what are you going to do with that for forever? Stop. I always tell the cishet girlies, stop thinking that these men ain't trisexual. Please. I'm so sick of them. Oh, I found out that you need a strap. You need the anal beads are a must. You need the butt plug is a must. And my favorite, I have to send a tuffet. It's a tuffet. Mm-hmm. So it looked like Little Miss Muppet sat on a tuffet. You inflate it. It's called the hot seat. You inflate it, it has a penis on it and a remote. And while you're servicing whoever you're servicing, it's servicing you too. One thing that I hate from working in the strip club that I truly learned, people need to be open that your partner, they may love you, but they may not always want your thumb in their ass. And that's okay. They still gonna pay the mortgage.
So what are your deal breakers? What do you not go for?
Broke. I'm serious. In this because I come from the strip club world and I've seen, and I'm like, I can't have living broke. You have to do something. You have to try. And disrespect, no abuse whatsoever. You have to respect boundaries. You have to take care of your children. You don't even have to like your mama no more. Just take care of your kids, because I'm not going to like your mama neither. That's the truth. A lot of these mamas ain't shit. Fuck her. She ain't coming over. Fuck that. And leave her where she is. But you got to take care of your kids. Times have changed. Times have changed. You should be self-aware. I'm sick, dealing with men who aren't self-aware sucks. Like, I know you're fine too, good. Respect people. You have got to know how to read. I am so sick of these illiterate men. You have got to know how to read, and you have to understand, like, reading comprehension.
Do you consider yourself more of a dominant or a submissive personality?
It depends on the man. And I like being submit. You know what I mean? I like being. Listen, I don't carry purses for men. I carry purses for bitches. And you're going to hold my hand, and I don't put my curtain rods up. I call them, can you do, even if I can. Did you know that my surrogate mother told me last night that if you move heavy furniture as a woman, it'll give you fibroids. Now, I don't know if that's true because she's almost 80, but I'm taking it for word.
What is your age range for dating, Fran?
My age range is if a guy wants me to take him seriously and live with him part-time and have my own crash pad, it has to be from 60 to 115. And I'm not joking, I will push wheelchairs and everything. I do upper body, so I can push a wheelchair one day. I am Anna Nicole all day. She was misunderstood. I'm her without the quaaludes. I'm just letting you know. My ex-fiance is like 68 now. Listen, because I can't, even when I date my peers, I can't seriously date them because I don't have kids. I could like them. I don't want to meet anyone's mother ever again in my life. I don't want to be invited to Thanksgiving dinner. I don't want to meet your sisters, your cousins. I would prefer them not to know. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to be old and ready to be out. Like, let's go on vacation. I will meet your other rich friends, though, that can teach me about things I don't know, like commodities and trusts. Yeah. Like, people don't play. These men don't play about you. Will you make sure they're okay? And I cook and bake. My ex-sugar daddy was Jewish. I made him and his wife a whole Yom Kippur meal. I looked it up. I never made Jewish food in my life. And she called me and said, thank you.
How do you feel about kids? And
I love children. I just love I just never wanted to push one out. That, how scary motherhood has never been something to me where it looked easy. I don't know. I'm happy that I didn't have a baby because I see what women around me struggled with, and pregnancy is you could die for real. And I think that we take bringing children in the world so lightly. I danced with girls who, when we had meetings at the club, they had to bring their kids. You know what I mean? Like, I danced at one club where the girl had to bring her daughter to work, and we were babysitting her in the dressing room.
How do you feel about marriage?
I would get married if I did not have to live in the home full time, if I could have a crash pad, if I could have my own place. At this point in my life, the only reason why a man would need to marry me is if he wanted to give me money, or if I was, like, I'm a secure the bag regardless. I have been engaged in my younger years, but now that I'm older, I'm like, this is ghetto. I hope, no, they ain't watching. They with their husbands. I don't have no friends that are in good marriages. Them bitches are stressed the fuck out. I'm sorry to say. I am sorry to say. I'm tired of hearing their raggedy marriage stories too, because I'm like, well, you knew he wasn't marriage material when you. But you know, I keep my mouth shut. That's why I don't talk to them hoes. And I just broke up with a whole bunch of them because I'm tired of them too.
We got a question in the chat. Joe asked, would you adopt?
No. But that's a process too. If
You,
I got wealthy enough when I'm older, I would adopt a 20-something-year-old to give them my money.
do you prefer night in or night out?
I prefer a night in. I like to cook. I mean, it depends on if I really want to go to a good restaurant, but I like a night in. I like to cook a lot. Once I get to know you, I like a night in. I like private clubs. We have private clubs here. So I like men who have like access to the Worcester Club, and you can have to be a member and you have to be go to Penn State and all that. I like stuff like that. I like going to like I like exclusive stuff like that. I'm not a nightclubber anymore. I've outgrown that. I like a nice cigar bar. Like if you want to do me and you want to take me to the Ritz, put me in one of them rooms with a fireplace and stuff, and we could get it popping.
They at saying that they went to your page and they say, honey, you cook. So
oh yeah, I cook.
I'm sure that Yom Kippur meal that you made your boyfriend and his wife, bitch, I'm sure
it was delicious. I never made it in my life, but she didn't cook. And I knew that about her, and that was okay. I thought it was great. You know, she didn't have to cook. He bought her a condo in the Boca Raton. She was never here. I was throwing dinner parties at her house. I was driving her dead father's vehicle, actually. But you see how these men are? They give it up. He didn't care. He was like, oh, like that. You know how inappropriate that is? Can you imagine if your husband was letting his mistress, and he had no prostate, by the way. So I never had sex with, he had no prostate. We cuddled, and I would let my best friend put her boobs in his face in the hot tub, and I would cook for him and make his turkey sandwiches, and I did his marketing and got him client. You know, I was just basically like his hot wife. Listen, I'm telling you, it's just dating smarter. It really, they don't have no problem asking you for no puss, ever.
well, I ain't got no puss to give them, but that's
Listen, it don't matter. Puss is puss. It's all, look, if it was an earlobe, it'd be a puss. And you know, if they could stick it in that, they definitely would.
Are you willing to relocate hypothetically if somebody in your tax bracket sees
Yes.
this?
And I can have my own crash pad? Absolutely. They have things to do. They want to golf and shit. They don't want anyone up their ass. They want to look at you for a little while, and they want to give you a couple of ducats because it's only a couple to them. It's nothing to them. Then they want to tap you on the ass and send you on your way. And then you can go play in the street with the people you really like.
What makes you a great partner?
I'm real as shit. I don't care if you tittle other people's diddles. I cook. And I'm about to buy the Gok 9000. I may not suck your dick, but we can hire someone that does it.
Friend, tell them how to get in touch with you, Can of Butter Babe.
You can find me at Victoria Vegas on Facebook. You can find me at Boss Bitch Vegas on Instagram. Can of Butter Babe 1 on this Instagram account because they always ban me. And Can of Butter Babe on TikTok. See, I get banned and fired because I have this.
What, you be putting stuff in your mouth, friend? Because you said
I don't put stuff in my mouth anymore. I've graduated from that. I'm 43. I hire people that do for the people that I like, though. No, I want to get that Gok thing because I think it's a worthy tool to have. Like, just because I won't do it doesn't mean I won't facilitate it being done. I'm a facilitator because I can't be this way on TikTok because you know they ban me all the time. And I cook with weed.
I literally do the show here because there's no telling when I'm going to be banned on TikTok, and I don't want people to expect the show that's not going to be consistent.